welcome back to the channel. This is just a quick unboxing and review of Vaer's new solar-powered D4 USA Arctic watch. I've been looking at these for a while and finally decided to place an order and see what this really looks and feels like. A lot of the videos on my channel center around CNC stuff and camper builds and boat builds and some ham radio things too, but sometimes if a watch catches my attention, I like to check it out. And I've been looking at Vaer's stuff for a while. So I'm curious to see what this looks like, what it feels like, and we'll go from there. Most of the watches that I play with and service and tinker around with are automatics, so this will be a little bit different. But some of the pluses with this, actually there's a lot of pluses with this. The extreme waterproof or water resistance down to about 600 feet, or a little over 600 feet. The size is a little bit smaller than what I usually wear, but I think it's in a comfortable range, somewhere around 38, 39 millimeters. And the lume is supposed to be pretty good. For this one, I went with the stainless steel bracelet. And this is the basic bracelet, not the premium one. So we'll see what that looks like too. And we'll go from there. So let's open this up and see what it looks like. It took about 3 days to get from Vaer to here in Maryland. And I think this came from, Missouri. So they're pretty quick ship. So let's open this up and see what we got. And we've got some information about our quick release bracelet. And again, this is the standard one, not the premium one. So we'll see how that feels. A certificate of assembly. These watches are all put together in the United States. And you got the signature from the person that actually assembled it. So it's pretty cool. Let's see what we got. One thing I'm wondering about this, and I haven't looked inside yet here, is the second hand here shows a lollipop second hand, and I hope that is the case. I've seen some photos online on the website that show more of a syringe hand or more of a pointed hand, and I hope we've got the lollipop one because I think that's more appropriate for the vintage look on there, but we'll see what we got. That's our bracelet and our watch. Nice. Okay, we do have that lollipop second hand, so very cool. And information about this dive watch. When these are fully charged, they should last for about 6 months per the website, for the information I've seen. And we do have the standard Tropic bracelet to start, strap to start with. That is soft. Got our protection on the back. I don't have my macro lens on here, but that should show some detail there. And I believe this is 38 millimeters for the case and an extra millimeter for the dial, or for the bezel rather. We've got our solar cell there. And our curved case there. Very thin, very narrow case there. And the signed crown. Very cool. And it's interesting, when you look real closely here, you can see what looks like a solar cell in there. And I do see a little square cutout, a rectangular cutout. I don't know if that's for what may have been a date, although that would be extremely tiny. I have a feeling it has to do with the solar cell charging part. And as far as the crystal goes, you can see an ever so slight kind of bow out on there for a sapphire crystal. It's got a nice look. You get bezel action, very tight, and no back play. First impressions, looks very clean. And a nice feel to it. For the Tropic strap here, I guess on some of the Tropic straps, especially the ones from Barton, there's that extra little catch which will hold that keeper in, and this looks pretty standard, pretty straightforward. So you will have a little bit of a tail sticking out beyond that keeper. And as far as where that second hand lines up, that is right on the money. So the second clicks are right on those hash marks. Let's see if it stays the whole way around. I don't know if that's recording in detail enough on the screen, but we're hitting each of our marks. And that's nice to see. I do have a few quartz watches, a few battery ones that are way off. And almost all of these are hitting. It's not unusual for a quartz to be off of the hash mark. These are almost spot on. All right, let's see. And as far as this bracelet goes, I will have to knock out a few of these links. And as far as this one goes, these are push pins. These are not screws. The watch is very thin to start with. They could have actually made that even thinner, I think, with pulling out a little bit of that depth. And as far as the bezel goes, it kind of angles out a little bit. You can see how the case is turned here. So you've got some brushed and some polished sides. As far as the bracelet goes, it's pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Doesn't feel too bad. A few people online have said that some of these pins here that you use for putting that on the watch can rub into your skin a little bit. I believe the premium one, they're either shallow or they're arranged a little bit differently so it doesn't touch your skin. And I can see how that does protrude a little bit. So we'll see if that is an issue. I suppose those could just be filed down as well. There's our clasp. So let's resize this. We'll get this on the watch and then see how it looks on the wrist. And we've got our bracelet all sized and on here. I think the bracelet is definitely the way to go. It gives it a little bit more heft to it. It's a very light watch to start with, and with the Tropic strap, it's extremely light. And the bracelet looks pretty good. It's super easy to put on. Those little pins make it very, very easy. It just snaps right in. And I took out some links to size it to my 6 3/4 to 7-inch wrist, depending on the season. And it's wintertime right now, so my wrist is a little bit smaller. And our time is set. And we're good to go. It's got a nice feel. The way the bracelet and the sides curve together is actually very nice. And at the moment, I can't feel those pins on the underside of the bracelet. So, not bad. Not bad at all. Very cool. Thanks very much for taking a look.